1994. It's now more than a year since ELF began its seismic campaign in Kazakhstan. In France, engineers continue to process the field results. At the same time, at the Nkossa field off the Congolese coast, preparations are being made to drill a new well. Our Central Services specialists supervise the design and construction of the production facilities in liaison with ELF Congo. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands, K6 field is celebrating its second year in production. 2 years earlier, several French engineers have helped ELF Petroland's production operators to put this field on stream. Whether in Kazakhstan, the Gulf of Guinea or Europe, all of the ELF subsidiaries have at one time or another called on engineers and technicians from ELF's Exploration and Production Technology Center in French CMP. At the heart of the Exploration Production Network, the CMP is a forum for exchanges between the subsidiaries and the area divisions. But what lies behind these three letters? Who are the men and women called upon to contribute to the success of exploration production operations? To understand, we need to go underground. Gone are the days of discovering vast oil reserves in new areas. The black gold to be found today is located in traps which are difficult to identify, in areas which are often isolated and hostile. Today, there's no hope of finding oil or gas without using the latest technologies and mixing the know-how of many specialists. In modern-day prospecting, it's brain power that counts. To work in the exploration production disciplines is to be part of a network which thrives on exchanges and integration of ideas and personnel. A network made up of technicians, engineers, generalists, experts and operators working in the subsidiaries as well as in the central services. Their mission, analysis and synthesis. Everyone shares knowledge and experience to leave an indelible mark in the giant data bank that is today's CMP. For subsidiaries and corporate management, the CMP is a guarantee of technical support and available manpower, technicians and engineers in all phases of exploration production, from negotiation of leases and contracts to producing flow of hydrocarbons. Seismic trucks were not sent at random into the barren steppes of Kazakhstan. First, the vast open spaces were observed very closely by satellite. Strange to think that in our industry, to see beneath the earth, we start by getting as far away from it as possible. The CMP was then called on for a preliminary regional geological interpretation. Next, geologists and geophysicists moved in to take rock samples, make maps, and to carry out acoustic soil surveys. Whereas satellites take photos of the Earth, the seismic trucks give it its first scan. For data acquisition at the Nkossa field, the truck units are replaced by seismic vessels. On this permit, the 3D technique is used to obtain a more accurate image of the field. In France, the calculating power of the central computer and interactive stations come into use early on. After bulk processing of the recorded signals comes the final interpretation of the seismic data. In a few months, computer programs, particularly those resulting from integrated research, such as seismage, enhance the image of the subsurface structure and the hydrocarbon traps. At the same time, samples from the Nkossa field are being analyzed in order to improve the knowledge of the structure and to assess its potential. It's not only the rocks which are analyzed. Oil, gas and water are also carefully studied. It remains to synthesize all the information, physical and chemical analyses on the one hand, geological interpretations on the other. This is the object of the multidisciplinary meeting of everyone who's worked on the Inkossa field. Here is the real demonstration of the importance of integration of the exploration and production disciplines. Pooling of information is vital. Mixing of interpretations is efficient. A well location plan is proposed to Elf Congo on the basis of the geological model of the oil-bearing structure. Early in 1990, an appraisal well is drilled. As a result of its research, the CMP can now propose DINAFOR, a new tool which provides real-time data on the rock being drilled. The appraisal well confirms the existence of a commercially viable field. At the same time, samples are analyzed in the center's laboratories. June 1990, the reservoir engineer, together with a geologist and a geophysicist, can now assess the volume of oil gas discovered, the recoverable reserves and the production profile. These three skills are complementary. The geophysicist determines the position and structure of the reservoir, the geologist its nature, and the reservoir engineer the dynamic behavior of the fluids. Grouped in the same place, they can act together quickly, follow the progress, and hand over the reins under optimum conditions. It's the petroleum engineer who now takes over. His job is to combine the technical and economical aspects to ensure maximum profitability of the projects. Together with the reservoir engineer and the future field operator, he conceived several possible development schemes for K6 field, respecting environmental and safety considerations. An impact study is carried out for each development project. For the K6 field in the Netherlands, the petroleum engineer suggested three possible development schemes. At the beginning of 1990, the green light is given. K6 can now be developed. In liaison with the subsidiary Elf Petroland, French technicians are involved in design and installation of the production facilities. They collaborate in the supervision of construction and startup. "18 months later, the K6 field produces its first gas. Production starts, interspersed with safety exercises.
Skid lock bolt, release.
Mission accomplished? Not quite. There remains the maintenance of field facilities as well as fine-tuning of the new steam waste water treatment system. The CMP will provide services on request throughout the production life of the field. The centre is already thinking of ways of dismantling the production facilities and restoring the site. Its teams are working on deep water production systems and on ways of producing high-pressure, high-temperature fields. The CMP is a melting pot which brings together all the skills used in petroleum exploration and production to produce multidisciplinary teams at the service of the ELF subsidiaries. A melting pot where experience and know-how are shared for the benefit of the 30 ELF subsidiaries scattered around the world. Maximizing the benefit of this experience required an environment where creative minds could interact. The CMP is ELF's response to the ever-growing challenges facing the petroleum industry. It demonstrates the importance ELF places on maintaining and improving its position amongst the major oil companies.